Long before the mystery, before the headlines and unanswered questions, Natalie Wood was simply a little girl with enormous eyes and an undeniable spark. Born Natalia Nikolaevna Zakharenko in San Francisco in 1938 to Russian immigrant parents, she seemed destined for the spotlight almost from the beginning. Her mother, fiercely determined to see her daughter succeed, pushed Natalie toward acting at an early age. By the time she was 4, she was already appearing in films. What could have been just another childhood hobby quickly turned into something extraordinary. Natalie didn't just perform, she felt every scene. Directors noticed it immediately. Audiences did too. The child who captivated America. Her breakout role in Miracle on 34th Street in 1947 made her a household name. As the skeptical child learning to believe in something magical, Natalie charmed millions. There was a sincerity in her performances that felt rare, especially for someone so young. While many child actors struggled to grow beyond their early fame, Natalie carried her success with surprising grace. She matured alongside her audience, and instead of fading away, she grew stronger with each new role. Growing into stardom. The 1950s and early 60s marked Natalie's transformation from child actress to serious dramatic talent. In Rebel Without a Cause, opposite James Dean, she showed a depth that earned her an Academy Award nomination. It was the kind of performance that lingered with viewers long after the credits rolled. Soon came Splendor in the Grass and West Side Story, 2 films that cemented her place in Hollywood history. She had a gift for portraying vulnerability without weakness, strength without hardness. Whether in drama or romance, Natalie made her characters feel achingly real, life behind the camera. Yet, life in Hollywood wasn't always as glamorous as it appeared. Growing up in the public eye can blur the line between who you are and who people expect you to be. Natalie often spoke about wanting something deeper than fame, real connection, stability, a sense of home. Friends described her as thoughtful and intelligent, with a dry sense of humor and a surprisingly down-to-earth nature. Off-screen, she wasn't the untouchable star. She was human, searching, and sometimes unsure like everyone else. Love, marriage, and second chances. Her personal life drew as much attention as her movies, especially her relationship with actor Robert Wagner. They married young, divorced, and then, years later, found their way back to each other. To many fans, their reunion felt like something out of a classic romance film. 2 people separated by time, choosing love again. Natalie also experienced other relationships and marriages, including with producer Richard Gregson, with whom she welcomed her first daughter. Later, she and Wagner had another daughter together. Motherhood became one of the roles she cherished most, grounding her amid the constant whirlwind of Hollywood. A woman beyond the spotlight. As the years passed, Natalie became more selective about her work. She sought roles that meant something, characters that had emotional complexity. She wasn't chasing headlines anymore. She was chasing authenticity. Colleagues often said she brought warmth and professionalism to every set. Younger actors admired her. Directors trusted her instincts. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, she had settled into a life that seemed balanced: family, career, and a quieter kind of happiness. A weekend that changed everything. In November 1981, Natalie joined her husband and friends for what was meant to be a peaceful weekend getaway on their boat near Catalina Island. It was supposed to be a break from work, a chance to relax and enjoy the ocean air. But the trip would become one of the most talked about events in Hollywood history. When news broke that Natalie had died during the night, the shock was immediate and profound. She was only 43. Fans across the world struggled to believe it. Someone so vibrant, so full of life, gone so suddenly, it felt unreal. Questions without easy answers. At first, authorities ruled her passing an accident, but over time, small inconsistencies and lingering questions kept the story alive. Those closest to her found it hard to accept such a simple explanation. Memories of that night varied. Details didn't always line up neatly. As years went by, new witnesses spoke up, and old statements were revisited. What might have faded into history instead became a puzzle that refused to settle. Not because people wanted drama, but because they wanted clarity, something that made emotional sense. The case revisited. Decades later, investigators reopened the case to take another look. Advances in forensic methods and renewed testimony encouraged officials to re-examine what had once seemed final. Her death certificate was amended to reflect uncertainty rather than certainty. It was a small but significant shift, acknowledging that not every question had been answered. Public attention returned, not with spectacle, but with a quiet hope that truth, whatever it might be, could finally bring peace to her family. Fame, memory, and silence. One of the most haunting aspects of Natalie Wood's story isn't just the mystery itself. It's how fame can complicate everything. When celebrities are involved, stories grow louder, opinions multiply, and facts can get buried beneath emotion. People protect reputations. Others guard their privacy. Over time, silence can become its own barrier. The result isn't always clarity. Sometimes it's simply lingering uncertainty. And that uncertainty is what has followed Natalie's story for more than 4 decades. Remembering the woman, not just the mystery. But reducing Natalie Wood to the circumstances of her death feels incomplete. She was far more than a headline or a question mark. She was an actress who helped define an era of cinema. A mother devoted to her daughters. A friend remembered for her warmth and laughter. When people who knew her speak about her, they don't talk first about tragedy. They talk about her smile, her kindness, her dedication to her craft. That's the Natalie they hold on to. A legacy that endures today. When audiences watch West Side Story or Rebel Without a Cause, they aren't just seeing an old movie. They're witnessing the talent of someone who poured her heart into every frame. Her performances still resonate because they feel honest, timeless, human. That's the kind of legacy many actors hope for, but few achieve. Whatever questions remain about her final days, nothing can erase the beauty of what she gave to the screen. The lasting impact. In the end, Natalie Wood's story is both inspiring and bittersweet. It reminds us how fragile life can be, even for those who seem larger than life. It reminds us that behind every star is a real person with hopes, fears, and dreams. And it reminds us that sometimes closure doesn't come neatly. Sometimes all we can do is honor the life that was lived and the light that was shared. More than 40 years later, Natalie Wood is still remembered not for mystery alone, but for the magic she created. And maybe that's how it should be. Not defined by questions, but by the unforgettable glow she brought to the world.